Is the device in the proximity of the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this is file 25-01779. People of the State of Michigan versus Samantha Ray Booth.
Good morning, Your Honor. If I may, John Angot appearing on behalf of Samantha Booth. Judge, we are both here via Zoom. I cannot say that my client consents to the use of Zoom, as I've communicated to her, but had no communication back from her. But I would consent to the use of Zoom for this hearing. I believe it's to her benefit to get this portion of her case done today.
Thank you.
Judge, if I may, as to the charges, I would request formal reading as to all 6 felony counts, after which I would ask the court to be pleaded not guilty as to each.
Thank you. Ms. Booth, it is alleged that on or about October 24th, 2025, that you did deliberately, with the intent to kill and with premeditation, kill and murder one David Graham Ong. This is contrary to Michigan Compile Law 750.316. This is a felony. If you're convicted, you would be sentenced to serve life without parole. DNA should be taken upon your arrest. Count 2 alleges that at the same date, time, and place, that you did knowingly or intentionally commit an act likely to cause serious physical or mental harm to a child by committing homicide and or felonious assault in the presence of the child, contrary to Michigan Compile Law 750.136B. This is a felony for which you can be imprisoned up to 10 years. The third count alleges that on or about October 24th, 2025, that you did make an assault upon Douglas Taylor Smith with a dangerous weapon, to wit, a screwdriver, but without intending to commit the crime of murder or to inflict great bodily harm less than the crime of murder. This is contrary to Michigan Compile Law 750.82. This is a felony for which you could be imprisoned up to 4 years and or fined $2,000. The fourth count alleges that on or about October 24th, 2025, that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Officer Happel of the Royal Oak Police Department, that you knew or had reason to know was performing his or her duties contrary to Michigan Compile Law 750.81D, Parent 1. This is a felony for which you could be imprisoned up to 2 years and or fined $2,000. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under Michigan Compile Law 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, or under Michigan Compile Law 750.81D, Parent 6, for another violation arising from the same transaction. The fifth count alleges that on or about October 24th, 2025, that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Officer Little of the Royal Oak Police Department, that you knew or had reason to know was performing his or her duties contrary to Michigan Compile Law 750.81D, Parent 1. Again, a felony for which you could be imprisoned up to 2 years and or fined $2,000. Consecutive sentence may be imposed under Michigan Compile Law 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, or under Michigan Compile Law 750.81D, Parent 6, for another violation arising from the same transaction. The sixth count alleges that on or about the 25th day of October 2025, that you did batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Detective Pelletier of the Royal Oak Police Department, that you knew or had reason to know was performing his or her duties contrary to Michigan Compile Law 750.81D, Parent 1. Again, this is a felony for which you could be imprisoned 2 years and or fined $2,000, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under Michigan Compile Law 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, or under Michigan Compile Law 750.81D, Parent 6, for another violation arising from the same transaction. You have a right to have a probable cause hearing 7 to 14 days from today, and a preliminary examination within 5 to 7 days thereafter. You have a right to be represented at all hearings by counsel. You'll be notified by mail of the dates for the probable cause conference and the preliminary examination. And I'm noting that Mr. Angot, I believe that given these circumstances that you're going to request that counsel be appointed for her?
Judge, it's my understanding her vocation is a nanny. I believe she is not a woman of great financial means. So yes, I would, despite the fact that she's not communicated with me, I would ask the court to allow counsel be appointed via the IDSO office in Pontiac.
Thank you. And to address the issue of bond.
Judge, just to make sure the record's correct, I did, as did you, go through her statutory right to her preliminary examination as to each of these 6 felony counts, that being a hearing that would occur in the next 2 weeks. I also talked to her about her constitutional trial rights. Again, no response from her verbally or otherwise, but I did provide that information to her. As to bond, Judge, as this court knows.
Well, let's let the detective speak to bond first, and then you can respond.
Sure.
Detective,
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Grink with the Royal Police Department. Due to the severity of the crimes and Booth's current mental state, I believe there is grave danger to the public if she is released and request that bond be denied.
Mr. Angot.
Judge, very simply, the presumption of innocence is absolute in our system. As such, I would ask the court to allow a bond in this matter.
Pursuant to Michigan Court Rule 6.106, a pretrial custody order can enter by which the court may deny pretrial release to a defendant charged with murder or treason. This defendant is charged with murder. It should also be noted that the defendant's current status would certainly indicate that she's likely to flee if given the opportunity, given the fact that she was arrested running away from the crime scene. Also should be noted that she is clearly a present danger to society. And on that basis, bond is denied.